All right, got a little bit of stuff to do today. It's been a little while since I saw you guys last. Let's see. Dave has been hard at work, or I should say, Dave and Gavin have been hard at work on all of our plugins. If you guys are using AIX DSP stuff, there's a lot of updates. You should have gotten an update from Sendowl. If you didn't, let me know, and I'll give you the newest versions. So far, so good. It's been like the first time where I don't want to jinx myself, but it's been really good luck. People have been pretty happy. A lot of problems that we have had are gone now. And Dave just sent a new version of Iconic Reverb, so I want to grab it right now and throw it in Reaper and try it out. Let's see. Open Reaper up. And, chances are this is going to crash the computer, so that's just how this works, especially if you're live. And, OBS adds the broadcasting software that I'm using to do this adds to the instability in many ways. So let's just check and make sure that Reaper is getting to the outputs here. I think that's getting there. Let's check the restream monitor. Not sure. It's not showing it. Let me mute my mic real quick. Just want to make sure that this is Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna put a reverb on something.
I don't bear.
Get ready for this to crash. Look at that. Oh, that's so awesome. Look at that. That's so cool. I like that better than the gray. Clicking and popping. See, here we go. And I don't even know that it's our stuff doing it. It's just something. It's OBS usually. If I turn off OBS, this will go away. I'm gonna get rid of a bunch of sources that I don't use anymore. Look at the performance meter real quick. That is peanuts, man. For a reverb that long, nice. That's clicking and popping is something else. Like it's not reflected in here at all. It's OBS. liking this pretty much. So the other thing today, before I completely pass out, I'm tired, but we picked up an official ESP arming adjuster. So you guys watched over the last couple weeks. Yeah, it's really hard with this light. Sorry. I got to get a better overhead camera set up. Wow, this thing is sharp. Like I'm going to cut my fingers off on it. Over the last couple weeks, I've been trying out, and we've been doing videos on it, things like this, the tremolo stabilizers. And I actually bought one from Music Lily that looks exactly like this. And I was like, wow, it seems to have a ball bearing on it. But none of their ball bearings actually spun. This ESPN one, the ESP one does. That's interesting. So I put doubles on most of my guitars, and it turns out I don't think I really need that much strength against this. This one's really hard to push. This ESP one seems to have a lot more beef to it, and it looks like this comes off too. I'm not super thrilled about that, but I'll deal with that. Wow, this is actually a lot beefier. It looks the same, but this has an actual ball bearing that's spinning. This spring is miles stronger than the springs on the other ones. Like and remember, I was putting Loctite on here because I was so afraid that it would move around. This one's not going anywhere. This is very tight threads and stuff. So looks like I might be buying genuine ESP ones of these things pretty soon. So hold on, let me get this. Let's mute this real quick. All right, that one of our neighbors who's, we've been really lucky during this pandemic and everything else. Oh my God, there I go. Now I'm gonna get my channel shut down. We've got a lot of community that really wants to support this school, so that's awesome. I'm gonna bring some gear down here. So let's look inside here. This is the official ESP one, and some of the videos we've been doing. Okay, none of them come with instructions. This is the first one that actually came with real instructions. It's all in Japanese, except for a little bit of it, but that's okay. It's okay if it's in Japanese. I think it's Japanese. Looks Japanese. There was a video with Steve Vai showing that he had one of these, the Ibanez version of these, a dual one, and it's very stiff, but it turned out I didn't need it to be that tough. I just barely needed it to help at all. But on the other hand, I've been running locked tremolos to the point where they, it's dive only. Sorry, I shouldn't say locked. I should say dive only. I've been running dive only modded Floyd Roses for 5 or 6 years and been just fine with it. And then all of a sudden I decided that I wanted to try, a completely floating Floyd like they're supposed to be, and I liked it. I really had fun with it, but at the same time it just seemed too unstable for me. I didn't trust it, so I went and got some of these things. I'll show you what's in this guitar right now. Let me clean this up a little bit so it's safe for the guitar. Yeah, I'm still looking for some kind of camera that's going to do this stuff better, so it's a little bit easier to see. But let me grab the guitar. So if you look, you know, usually I'm one of those guys that's always after the budget, the frugal stuff. So if I can get it cheaper, I will. But I'm going to say in this case, there's some reasons that already when I'm looking at it, the ESP version actually seems a little bit better than the copies. And I'm going to show you that in just a second here. Not sure. I'll pull my bar. Oh, wow, this is being difficult. Sorry, 1 second. Oh my gosh, why? Wow. I'm having a lot of trouble pulling this bar out. I tightened it up a lot because it was wobbly, and now I can't get it in or out. So I'm going to have to think about that. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to have to loosen that bolt. This is too much. I don't want to be yanking on this thing. Let me just grab, I think it's this one right here. Sorry. See who's in the chat right now. Yeah. So now it pulls right out. Okay. But I don't want that to be loose. See? I don't know if I really want to put this pillow down here, but get this out of here. Oh, by the way, I've been looking for forever for some sort of pouch. You know, I read all these things, what pouches people are using with their wirelesses and stuff, and none of them really seem to work good. So you know what I did? I just stuck some Velcro on my strap. Worked perfect. Used that at last practice, and it was awesome. I don't want anything really pushing on this tremolo right now. I ordered some new fine tuning screws, but they didn't fit this tremolo, unfortunately. And Floyd Rose is out of stock, and they won't have any more. So here's what was in there. And if you look, this one is 2 of these things. So this one is called like the Ibanez backstop or a dual arming adjuster. And just looking at this thing, they look so similar, but this one wiggles so easy that I was always afraid it's just going to come loose and stop working. I am a little bit worried this back part unscrews. I kind of want to Loctite that in, but maybe not yet. Like I said, this ball bearing is actually a ball bearing. Oh, there's Tom Jacobs. Let's see. What is he doing here? Yeah, should I let him in? What do you guys think? Let's see. Let's see what Tom has to add here. Hey, Tom. I don't know if you got a mic or not. Let's see. Okay, so first of all, this spring is way the hell stronger than any of these. This spring halfway through is stronger than both of these put together, which is kind of tripping me out. So, but I didn't really need that much pressure to keep this thing from going. So I don't need this dual one. Plus, if you really look at it, it's so finicky to have this dual one adjusted exactly right. Big old pain. So I'm going to try it with this single one. And now that I see just how much stronger the ESP arming adjuster is than this thing, it's no, I don't hear you. Think you are muted. Let's see. Do I have a mute on you? Nope, I'm not muting you. You might be using Apple products or something. I don't know. Is that a universal audio device that's deciding not to work? That would make sense. Oh, I keep forgetting to order another tremolo spring puller because the one that I bought is way too big for these kind of tremolo springs. It wasn't actually a tremolo spring puller, that's why, because it's a spring puller. I should have left the bar in. I just screwed that up. So there we go. There's that spring. Ow. Okay. Probably be using a jeweler's screwdriver on these. They're pretty tiny. I don't know if this is either the second or third one of these things this guitar's had in it. I've been doing videos, trying all the different ones out. Just disappeared. I see you now. Oh, I don't see you now. Oh, I see you again. All right, so that guy's out. So I'm wondering. I keep debating on where it is to put these things exactly. Okay, I gotta take these off. I'm gonna put this on ahead of time this time. Like an idiot. Ooh, I just heard a click. Is that you? Oh, you're just gonna get me DMCA'd, so I'm muting you. I do not need a DMCA on my channel. I don't know what that was, but that sounded like something that Nancy Pelosi was gonna get me for, so I don't want to mess around with that. Let's see. Let me unmute you again. Do not play copyrighted music on my stream. You're gonna get me busted. All right. So these little pads. This is one thing that I'm so finicky about stuff now. These little pads right here they're supposed to keep it from making that noise when this thing clacks up against the back here. But with this ball bearing, there's really not that much noise anyway. But what I'm worried about is those things cause just the tiniest little bit of movement, and because of that, you could be losing some tuning stability. And so I really don't want to use it, but at the same time, I really do. And this one came with, what did it come with, 2 of them or just 1 of them? Let me see. Looks like it came with 2 of them. Maybe I'll take apart one of my other guitars and put one of these on there, because I had something on there that was questionable. Let me put what's going on here? There we go. I need these screws. Yeah, give me 2 of them. So I'm going to put one of these on. Yeah, it's so squishy, man. I'm really worried that this is going to mess up the tuning. You see what the problem is? When I hit this thing on you, oh, shoot, on here, it's so squishy that it's got a little bit of give. That should be enough to be completely out of tune. I'm not sure, though, so we're going to see. Want to get this thing in the right place for once, so this time I'm not going to put it on after. I'm going to put it on before. And I'm just sighting this by eye. I'm not doing like a super crazy, oh, wow, wait a second. So this thing already has some holes. This might actually line up already. Let me see. This may or may not be a good idea. But like I say, let me put this on ahead of time, and then I'm going to be second guessing myself for forever whether or not I should actually have this on the guitar or not. But this one's much spongier than any of the other ones I tried. So if it's really a problem the way I'm thinking, this thing's going to be the worst one of all. That's interesting, because everything else about this one seems to be better. Oh yeah, I'm hearing you now a little bit. Let's see. Oh, yeah, just dropped the screw. Yep. Yeah, I hear you just fine. And
Sorry,
so does the entire
about
world.
that. I had my record player. Sorry.
Yeah, there's always some wise ass that's going to DMCA you over, like Rage Against the Machine, especially. They pretend to be all anti-capitalist or whatever, but they seem to be telling everybody to take down their stuff.
What are you putting in there?
What is that?
ESP arming adjuster?
Hold on, why am I not hearing you?
You hear me now?
Yeah, it's real sketchy. Like, let's see. Okay, try that again.
It's a shitty mic. So.
Yeah. I don't know how straight this is.
What are you putting in there,
straight.
Justin?
This is a ESP arming adjuster. It's just like from the, I guess they made these back in the 80s or something. But they're all these tremolo stabilizers are all the rage now again. So, I've had real good luck with them so far. So this is the official one. I'm gonna see if this works any better than the copies. So if I put this in the holes that it's got, it'll be a slightly off. I could make this actually a lot straighter, but I think we'll be okay. Let's see. That is pretty cockeyed. Well, we'll just see how this works. I figure that the straighter it is, probably the better it's going to work, but we'll try this one like this real quick. Okay, so that's 2 of the screws. Let me put the spring in so I can get an idea of where this is going to end up. And now I can actually do an arrow configuration because I could loosen these a lot, actually. I'm gonna have to refine the center, the balance point on this tremolo, but that shouldn't be too bad. Because I can put these in like arrow style, it'll shouldn't need to have the tremolo claw so far in. Oh, this is why I want a tremolo spring puller. This always sucks. Well, if I do it with the bar, it's a little bit easier, but there we go. I really should put this thing in straight. Work out better for me, but so let's take a look. Really off to the side. Don't think that's going to make that big of a difference though. The bar in. See, now it's too floppy. Well, I tell you, that is stiff, man. Wow. It's almost not a question of whether or not it's going to be dive only, because this is so stiff. All right, so let's so I'm probably going to pull apart my agile and fix this up a little bit. Let me tighten this back down. See, this is why I had this. Oh, yeah, here's another thing. Okay. So Floyd Rose doesn't make a push in for the oil slick, unfortunately. So I had to modify the screw in version, and then I had something in there to space it out a little bit. Here it is. So that's not ideal. I should like glue this to the bar or something. So I'm gonna drop that back in there. Just so that I can make it as high as the other one. I do have an actual brass one that's supposed to go with this fitting, but I wanted the oil slick bar. You know, I paid crazy extra money to get oil slick, so I want oil slick. But if I do this, it's really hard to get the bar out for some reason, so that feels good. Okay, this thing is slamming up against it. Like it's almost like I have a dive only on here. Like I really got to pull up in order to make this go. And it's weird that Steve Vai, who does all that crazy tremolo stuff, uses one of these things, and he uses the dual version, which is way stiffer than this. So let's I'm gonna put a tuner on here. I'm gonna see what exactly is going on. Second here. Cable on, and let's take a look. And we're gonna center this or balance this bar out. 25. Go to pull up the tuner. How do I do that? I have one that says retuned right there. There we go. Okay. Put the tuner right there. As soon as this fires up, I don't know why it's taking so long to fire up. Interesting. Oh, it's really taking a long time to fire up. So let's figure out where we are right now. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move this bar. So I'm gonna make this plunger shorter, and the way you gotta do that. See how this one works. They're all different. Okay, so I want the spring pressure to stay the same. It doesn't really matter right now because not really doing much with it, but I'm gonna take the bar out. I guess I could just hold it and turn it in a little bit. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This thing is squishy right here, so it's not making that clack noise, but I don't know that it won't be too wiggly. Let's see. Yeah, see, that's now we're going. That's the squish right there. So right here, flat. But if I pull it past the squishy part, it's in tune. So what do? Do I put the spring pressure up to just force it up against that thing? I really don't want to use this pad, but I know that it's going to clack and it's going to drive me nuts when it clacks if I don't. I could tighten the springs a little bit. You can tighten the springs until it starts pulling on that plunger. So let's just see how far we can go here. You might be able to squish that thing down without pulling on the plunger. And with the pad on it, it just doesn't feel that solid. Like I can pull on it a tiny bit. Not thrilled here. And the tighter I make this spring, the harder it's going to be to use the tremolo. So this is pretty much pulling past that pad. The pad may be having a little bit of impact. I can hear that clacking. So let's take a look. I'm hearing a little click. But that's a lot less finicky than trying to get the two of these working. This is a pain to get these exactly right. I'm trying to think, what is this click? See, I don't want to have to push to tighten the springs too much. I'm so close to just pulling that pad off of there. Well, I can't tell you what that... Hey, John. Can't tell you what that click is exactly. But I can tell you that I'm not pulling past that pad. Like, I know that over time it's gonna wear in and I just don't know that I need that pad though. It's really makes this thing less stable. I'm gonna pull that just a little bit. I'm so close to just not using this pad at all. I know I keep saying it. You guys are tired of hearing this broken record. You know, when I use the dive only, I never had a pad on there. I just had it clack away, and I was happy to hear that clack because it meant it's I know where it is. So you know what? I'm gonna take this pad off. Let's just do that for now, and we'll see if I hate life or not. But I really don't think I want this pad. Might be 1 second here. get a lot of gear because things happen to people and a lot of gear somebody just brought. Okay, I'm just gonna open this up. I'm gonna take a look at this before I go on here. If I can figure out how to open it. Oh wow. Wow, look at this. Ibanez artist. 22 frets. It's like a F-hole semi-hollow body, 2 humbuckers in it. Oh, this is nice. It's really light too. Oh man. Wow. Okay. This needs to be stashed someplace nicely. And I don't have any place to put anything right now, but brought by an amplifier, pedals and things. Yeah, that's just sad. It's going to a good home. Trust me, anything that ends up here, kids will be using it, so that's good. All right, so let me get back to this real quick. So now you can hear it hitting. But is that so bad? Man, I feel really bad. I hate when people donate stuff and the stories that go behind them. We'll deal with that later. Okay. So I'm looking to make sure that the roll is pretty much level, which it is. So I pulled that thing off. Now all of a sudden this thing is so much more stable. Like, I know there's a clack there, and that might drive me nuts, but I'll keep these pads just in case. But I always had them locked anyway, so the real trouble is when you pull up on it. Oh my god, it's just so hard to pull up on. Wow. But you know what? Like I say, I ran these things locked to dive only for so long. Let me, ooh, I gotta move that thing. Let me set the fine tuners real quick. This is what I hate about, like, I don't want to use wood for guitars. Look at this. If I lay it down, it's one tuning, pick it up, goes sharp, turn it on its side. That's really where you should tune it at. But you know, that sucks. Like, I wish these things were just stiff. Yes, on the side where I normally play, it's really sharp. But what I'm really worried about here is as I'm lowering this, if the spring pressure overcomes the string tension and this spring, it's going to dump this this plunger forward. But it's really taking a lot of pressure to do that. So I could make this spring a lot looser and it would still work. I could probably make the So you know, okay. So I'm gonna bend the string here, okay? And if you look, you can barely see. I know it's hard to see from here, but watch. The bar is gonna move back as I bend this. And one way you can tell is, okay, I'm gonna play this low A, whatever that tuning is. I'm gonna bend that high E. Actually, there's a low E. And see, when I bend the B string, see it goes flat. That's one of the benefits. If you lock it down, you could crank those springs down so you could bend all you want without the tremolo dumping forward. After a year, whatever it was, where I was playing where the tremolo was unlocked, I kind of got to the point where I don't really care if it dumps forward a little bit. And hey, David's. So I could actually loosen these springs a little bit to make the tremolo a little bit easier to use, because without the without this pad in the way, it's just so much more. This pad, it's just so much more stable. Like for real, this pad just makes me nervous, and I don't want to use it. These ones right here, these plastic ones, are a little bit harder, but you know, really, if it's gonna be that hard, it's probably gonna clack anyway. The front of what, the pad? It's just the same. It's like foam rubber on either side. Well, the front of this guitar. That's why I got it, so I could get an oil slick Floyd Rose. That's so ridiculous, but I had to have it. So this is what it sounds like when you have it locked to dive only. And right now, because it's so hard to pull up on this thing, it feels like it's locked to dive only. And really, I never pull up on this thing. I don't know why I'm bothering doing this crap, because I don't pull up on these bars anyway. But okay, so see, it's still pulling back, but it's not pulling past the plunger. And so I don't know if I want to move this guy in or not. I could pull it in a little bit or push it out a little bit. I could drastically loosen the spring pressure here, because, okay, and this other thing, remember with this other one, I put Loctite on here so that this wouldn't happen, but I can very easily turn these things. This thing could end up being completely uncalibrated very easily. Oh, you got an ESP 8. Wow. Yeah, these are blackouts on this one. It came with the an 81 and an 85. But I got my other guitar that I normally use has 707s. So I already got the ESP, and I love the blackouts, so I'll put the blackouts on here. Now, I'm very intrigued that this one, the ball bearing, is actually a ball bearing. If you look at this one, it looks like a ball bearing, and it looks like it's supposed to be a ball bearing, but these ball bearings do not spin at all. And I was a little bit worried that if they do spin, maybe it's going to get loose, and that's going to cause some wiggling. I mean, the ball bearing probably wouldn't wiggle as bad as this piece of foam rubber would, but it's still going to wiggle. Let me see. I'm gonna loosen the tremolo springs a little bit. They don't need to be anywhere near that strong. Okay. I mean, still, yeah. Even with the springs that loose, you can hear this thing just clacking. Like, really, I only need it at the very minimum that's going to hold it up against this bar. Would be enough. But I like them a little bit stiffer because I do bend a lot. But then again, I got 8s, so they're not all that much tension. But the minimum I could have on the tremolo, oh yeah, see, it's not, wow, it's not hitting the bar anymore, so that's too loose. So, yeah, I feel bad for that lady who donated the thing. Her husband can't play anymore. Too much empathy. People think I don't have any, but it's not true. So I need it at least tight enough to hit that thing. So just want the bare minimum. I don't even want there to be a question whether or not this thing's floating. So I'm gonna make it a little bit tighter than it needs to be. But you know, a lot of people approach this as just something to just be the last little bit of nudging the thing in the right direction. Okay, so that's definitely on there, but it's gonna see what the tuning does. And we just had the video the other day about the issues with the Floyd Rose Pro and the way that the fine tuners worked, especially since the Floyd Rose Pro cost more than the original. You would have thought it'd be better, but it's actually much worse. I did get the new fine tuning screws in that said that they fit the 1000 series or whatever, but they don't fit the Pro, unfortunately. Okay, see how I just loosened it and it went up? That's the issue with these fine tuners on the Pro. Very upsetting, actually. Tell you what. Okay, without that pad on here, I mean, it does clack, but so do all my lock does. Hold on, let me grab. Am I hallucinating, or is this the way they all are? Let me grab one of my ones with the dive only. My 29-inch. Oof. This thing's practically a bass, right? This guy. So this one is set to dive only. You hear that clack right there, and somehow that never bothered me, but yet it bothers me when it's the other style. Let me put this in here. This guitar hasn't had the strings changed or been cleaned forever, but with the look at that guitar probably hasn't been touched in 3 months. Maybe a little bit out of tune. Pretty crazy, huh? Time for some contact here. But see, this clack never bothered me. So it's not going to bother me on that. What in the world do I care? Man, I played this guitar for so long. I can't imagine how I used to play it, but it's so big. So yeah, if the clack didn't bother me then, it shouldn't bother me now. I could set this a little bit different. I could set the pull a lot lighter. I could set the roller springs a lot lighter. See, I'm just trying to make sure what exactly is going on here. There's Cordell back from his driving test. See if you pass it. Come on in. See, guess my isolation works some. Discovery. Yeah. The car. Just go there. Back to the. I think it's this guy right here. He might have done a little bit. Or you passed the test or what? Yeah. He pulled 360s in the skate park. Call me old. Sorry guys. So let's see. This like I say, this is always one of these things. Like I wanna if somebody's got an idea, what I would like is to put little magnets in here and then just be able to pull this thing on and off real fast, right? Magnets on here, magnets in here. And I see Steve Vai does it with Velcro, but it'd be so nice just to be able to pull it off with the magnet, right? So I forgot. I need to go to the hardware store and get a bum key for the water thing over here. So if I can remember, the let's see, hold on. They're killing people in a second. Be right back. One of our guys just got his driver's license permit test, and he says he passed, so that's a good thing. Anyway, if you guys can think of some way to get the magnet on here, that'd be nice. But so for right now, I'm just gonna fight myself on how much pressure I want this to take. Like right now, it may as well be locked, and I don't pull up on this thing. Like there's no reason for me to loosen this. There's really no reason for me to loosen this thing. But I'm probably going to do it anyway. I'm going to let's just see. I'm sorry. I know. I'm gonna go back and forth. So if I hold this thing steady, right where it is, it's not gonna change the tuning any. And I tell you, man. Oh, so see, it did move. Dang it. I kind of do want to Loctite this, I guess, but let me pull the spring a little bit. It just doesn't need to be anywhere near this strong. It's only too weak once the plunger moves. And it seems like this could go a long way before that plunger is even going to think about moving. So, in fact, maybe I should loosen it all the way. But really, I don't pull up on it. What's the point? Why am I doing this? Like, I just keep going back and forth on this junk. It really seems like I could loosen the tremolo spring some too, but I think I'm gonna leave it like this. So let me tune it one more time, and still think I might Loctite these things. There are a couple places where could go wrong. Wow, look at that. See how flat that is? Okay, so when I did that, I moved the plunger pretty far, actually. Wow, that's kind of upsetting, actually. So I'm going to lock up the Allen wrench again. I'm going to pull the plunger out. What I want it to be is like over there, right? So I'm going to tighten this up so it pulls the plunger in. It's going to get it close. That's going to make the spring tighter again, unfortunately. But again, I don't pull up on this thing. I don't need it to be that loose. It sounds like a stuck record. There we go, right? So that's a problem. So if this thing spins, it potentially makes some trouble. But I really got to pull on this thing. But again, I don't pull up on the bar. So why do I even have this thing? Just put a lock on it. So if I want to do that Rocky George stuff, it's not like I pull up on it. I can still make this a lot light. But right here, it's stable as all hell. It feels like it's locked. I'm getting the clack, and I suppose that having those I suppose that having the pad thing in there might lessen this clack when you try and do the pull up and around them. I can't imagine. I don't understand how Steve Vai uses these things. Like he does so much tremolo stuff. You think that'd be just clacking away on him and he'd hate it. I'm just watching it to see if this plunger goes. And I'm not seeing the plunger move. It still seems like this is insanely stiff. Now the only way this goes sharp is if it pulls past the plunger, or the plunger moves, which neither one of those seems to have happened. So what's going on here? I mean, I'm just using the bare minimum spring pressure, I think, on the smaller side. nice and sharp. So I really think maybe I need to lock this sucker down. See, if this moves, which really doesn't feel like it's gonna. The only time you even feel the spring is when you pull up on it. So seems like there might be too much tremolo spring tension, but I can always loosen that once the cover's back on. The other thing is if this thing moves. Oh man, yeah, that's right. I still don't have the rest of the screws in. Let me put those in real quick. Because if this thing moves, that would mess some stuff up. Glasses. Can't see. Glasses over here. Yeah, it's not grabbing very well. Let me get another screwdriver. I'm gonna take a drill bit to this real quick. I want to just strip this thing out. Try this other hole. Okay, so that's the problem. I probably should have gotten all these in before I went this far. I forgot all about it. So let me see if I can even see these. Oh, yeah, this is way off. Loosen these. Hopefully I don't have to re-drill these because remember, this isn't exactly in the right place. And if I can turn this a little bit. You know, maybe I should just put this in the proper spot. Hold on, let me take a look. Might start over on this, so let's see about doing that. In fact, hold these. What I want to do is get them in the right spot. Put one screw in. Put this right on the edge. Got plenty of room. And then it'll keep it away from the springs, which would be a bonus. Okay. So the real way to do this would be to loosen this guy up. Let's see. Because I'm going to pull the plunger way out. I want to make it so that it's right on the edges where it touches the roller bar. And it'll probably be in the wrong spot, actually, so that's okay. We'll deal with that in a second. Right in the center. Right on the edge. Yeah, I do need stronger glasses. How are these? Is this going to work? Some more light on that. I'm going to put one in, then I'm going to have it hit the bar so that I can make it just kind of self-center. Assuming that all this stuff is square anyway, which is probably a stupid assumption to make. Swiss cheese. to get one of these right. Might have been a little bit too far. Maybe not. So I could yank the springs up against this thing, kind of try and center it, but I might not really center it. I might push it off to the side. So let me try to make sure this is really straight. Seems pretty straight. I'll put one right there. And that just moved it over, which is what I didn't want to do. Right. Once there's two of them, then nothing's going to happen after that. So, oh, yeah, yeah. Of course, that's what's going to happen. So now I got to get that screw out of there somehow. I should invest in some of those screwdrivers that hold on to the screw. Not magnetic. I mean it's got the little pincher thing. Electronics guys use that stuff from time to time. Okay. I know it looks real close, like it's gonna hit, but I don't think so. Now should be safe. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Nice. Okay, there might be some of you out there. Oh man, I had this sitting on the pliers. Oops. Might be some of you out there that say, haha, we knew that was gonna happen. Oh man. Gotcha. All right, well, that's it for that drill bit. Let's see if that at least put enough of a hole in there. I got some more bits, so. So yeah, a bunch of you guys are out there going, you're gonna break that. Because you know that stuff better than I do. So. Excuse me. Okay. More bits. So those itty bitty ones are always the ones I'm missing because those are the ones that bust easier. I got a nice itty bitty one in here, which I do, thankfully. All right. Now, most of you guys know that this stuff is pretty much ruled by Murphy's Law. And you just saw it right there for sure. This guitar, I still haven't even taken the plastic off this stuff. Now I gotta get that screw that fell in. Did it fall all the way through and out the... Oh yeah, there it is right there. Okay, good. So that makes it a little bit easier. So I've seen people put them on with pliers before. That's kind of a cool idea. But they make screwdrivers that hold on to the screw. So now the trouble with doing it like I just did, which I really should have thought about, is that I won't have any room to loosen that loosen the spring any. So I guess that was kind of dumb, but oh well. Now we know why you don't do that. So there's only so loose a screw the counter spring can get, but again, I don't pull up on these things, so it probably doesn't matter. It's probably gonna be way. Okay, now what you're supposed to do is to set the springs until this is the right amount of tension. That's not what I'm going to do. I am going to set the plunger until it's in the right place. Then I'm going to do that. Yes. Now an inch in there. If I can. And I'm going to put the pliers wherever they went, right here. And I'm going to spin this bar until that flattens out enough. Which way is that going? Okay, see it going flat? Now maybe that I need to tighten the springs, but I'm not really sure. We'll see. There, see that's in right now. So I don't know if that's going to be enough. Well, it's hitting hard. So if I wanted to loosen these springs, I could do it a little bit, but it's not going to do by much. Now I wonder if I want to put chapstick on here. Probably don't want to. Those guys are still... Let's see where the bar is. I think I'd like to bring it in just a tiny bit more. So I'm just looking at the plate to see where it is in relation. It still could go a little bit more. That feels pretty good. it just sounds just like how I had it locked my whole, the last like 5 or 6 years. I think I could let the springs out a little bit more. Feels a little bit tight, but I have to give it a hell of a lot of a pull in order to get that plunger moving forward, so I'm not really that worried. I might loosen this a little bit so I can pull up on it, but again, I keep saying it, I don't pull up on these bars, so it really doesn't matter. I could have just done this dive over. When you pull up, man, all bets are off. I think I might small stay in a pretty damn good tune for diving, but once you pull up on them, they do funny things. It sounds so muddy. I think that's pretty good. Alright, I'll be back later on tonight, I think. I should do the show. Got hopefully